joining the Discord. Once you do that, you'll be entered into some tickets into the giveaway of 2,000 PUBG coins. And dotted throughout, we're dropping secret viewer codes that will give you 50 entries. So stay tuned throughout this entire game. We have 6 of them, and we're dotting them across all 6 games.
Absolutely. And all of this is thanks to Plausible Gaming, the fantastic community-built system that allows you not only to join the Discord, get people like yourself to try and grow maybe a team, to have a bit of fun, play competitive, whatever you wish, and in the end, grow as a person, get some friends along the way, and of course, it's a non-toxic community with an esports-like relationship that you simply cannot miss out on. So make sure to get in now, before it's too late. It never will be too late, to be honest, but of course, while we're still growing, there's pros and cons. And going into these maps, I mean, people are already dropping. We see Delulu here going a bit outside of that center side. And currently, this is one of the teams that I've witnessed in the past.
Yeah, of course, these drops, a lot of teams are going to not know fully where each other positions. So we might get a few hot drops in this matchup coming forward, but 9 times out of 10, most drops are very calm, very aligned. They're not going to over-aggress each other and not going to push into anybody's territory, but the zone should be marked. What do we have coming forward, though, talking about hot drops? Full of mangoes, landing ultra close to another squad, but dipping away to the other side of Pochinki, I think this is.
Absolutely. Well, the mangoes here going on a bit of a drive-by, trying to not only claim loot, but find that early initiation. I imagine they don't expect someone to be as close by, but once you pick up that vehicle, you get yourself easy mode of transport, and in the meanwhile, again, approach others, get these opportunities, maybe spread out more to gain information on where others might lie, and where gunfights might be going down for you to intercept. But currently, it's the looting phase. Everyone's just trying to get themselves racked up nice and easy, without trying to get into too much aggression themselves.
My big question, and if observers you're watching, can we get an idea of where the map, what map are we looking at? What's that first zone? Because prison looks to be in, which means we're definitely down to that southeastern position. And that's the big question that I am asking. But nonetheless, yeah, a lot of looting will be happening, and we'll definitely have to wait and see. Let me poke the observers for this map.
Yeah, we do need to see the circle. I mean, again, it's a great way to start off having a bit of a realization where we really lie. And currently, we're having a look at AMW, or Afton Mitwaffen, which I hopefully didn't butcher. Again, having a similar way with everyone else, just gathering vehicles, gathering loot, and everything still being at a bit of a stalemate.
Yeah, of course, Delulu? Is that how we're pronouncing this team?
Delulu.
Oh! Ouch! I said this was east. Oh, I told you, I said it from the get-go, we're gonna have a lot of weird zones, and that is one of them. The whole of the military base, no one's dropped there, no one's gone that direction. Ouch! Damn!
Oh, wow. George Paul either. I mean, the very top, Ron Stalber, it's completely empty. Everyone's been completely just center-sided and spread across this one horizontal line, while the circle itself is interestingly positioned to not be around those main focus area points of the map. Now, a lot of teams are making headway towards the circle themselves, but a majority of them are just outside of it trying to gather some loot.
Yeah, critically, you know, we're not going to see a lot of people go Stalber, not great loot, and as well, so far out the way, and especially with the plane path we had, was not feeling, you know, you can't really zoom yourself up there, but we're definitely going to see a lot of teams bury themselves up in a few of these cities that are located inside, prison being one of them. We've already got a squad that's positioned themselves there, but then that comes with rotation. I've always find this east side of the map has quite a lot of open space and not a lot of good cover, unlike the northern part of the map where Stalber is, where you've got these hills to play off. So we're going to be seeing a lot more creative positioning, and a lot of people having to use cars, having to create covers to help them out.
55E simply going around houses. Now, Izet from the outside looking to claim a bit of kills on themselves. We haven't seen a single body drop just yet. Still all 64 players alive. Not a single casualty on any of the teams, and early crates as well. We do see Jimbo quite close to it, but not really going for the direct approach.
Yeah, well, it's inside Malta. This is, honestly, Malta, my hotspot, my drop. But more critically, look at that. Level 3 military, level 3 helmet, level 3 backpack. Done, bro. I'm done. I'm happy if I pick up that crate. But back to my point about Malta, no one dropping there. And I find that spot is that it's my usual drop spot point, and I try and push myself there time and time again. I've had many victories coming off it, admittedly from a casual player's perspective, but for me, that is a strong position. You've got a good rotation. You could quickly drop down to military if needed to. And even if the zone doesn't land that direction, it's great rotation to the west. But zones landed there. So a lot of loot that's not going to be touched, a possibility for a secret key and a quick rotation to the secret area is not being utilized here.
Certainly not the best. Missing out on a bit of a hidden gem. I don't know if every single team is thinking that someone's already claimed it, or they might have not just put it into consideration, but what's done is done. It's still waiting for a bit of lootage. Currently, though, we are looking at Delula here. Some of these players still just sitting back. Everyone's waiting to approach, to be approached rather than to approach. Although I do believe 55E and Delula might be coming in close confrontation in any moment.
Yeah, 55E are not too far away, especially with the gunshot that we saw Pappy just use to get rid of some of his windows. The presence and knowledge that they're there now, they're not gonna move. You're not gonna move if you don't have to, and at this point in time, it's gonna be a stalemate from here onwards. Which, you know, I have to ask you a question here, Bob. Where from that map line, where are you dropping?
That's a good question. Honestly, I feel like George Paul. That's going to be my answer.
Where?
I'm going top right. I'm going top right at the very beginning.
You go to Stalba?
Yeah.
That's a long drop. I honestly don't try and do those long drops. I try and stay relatively close because I always lose those first gun battles on the floor.
That's why I go for
every time.
I want to go a long distance. I don't want to go into a battle with anyone. I'm bad with shooting.
Oh, it's definitely some interesting drops. But we said about those secret codes. How about we drop one now? First one being winner PG, and that is of course no spaces. This will also be in the chat, so keep an eye on the chat while we get the spellings out for you. But winner PG, the first of the secret codes. Go into the link that we provided into the chat, which will give you to that giveaway page, onto the Glem. Then you will see a section that says enter secret viewer code. Type in winner PG, no spaces, all caps.
That's it. Just like it. You gotta stay on the stream. Gotta watch out for these codes every now and then. And of course, claim them when time is around. But in the meanwhile, we've already had 2 players lose their lives. Although some teams are starting to lose it. It's been both on the side of Hot 90s, who definitely haven't had the hottest of beginnings. Although it might have been a loss, the team still is in the game, but with 0 kills, the point count is definitely going to be looking no better.
Yeah, and also the fact that trying to run the distance to the zone is not going to help. And also running north to the zone. Yeah, buddy, definitely need to be running to the east. But it comes down to losing those initial gunfights and then not having a vehicle to escape. You're going to be scared for your life. But this is first zone ticks, so it shouldn't be too much. Meanwhile, Dragon Kiss, last time I saw somebody at shelter was Team Liquid. And Puddy got stuck in there. So not recommended to end up inside of shelter.
Not recommended, no. So let's just see how they're going to be taking this advice. If they can hear us with that little couple of minute delay, maybe there's going to be coming into them with a bit of a late message. Team Mira holding FTM under LeBay, just holding them hostage in this one building, not allowing easy movement. Again, is going to be great. And as long as you can surround the team correctly, they might be having a bit of trouble. But we are going to be surpassing the first 10 minutes, and it's honestly a surprise only 2 players have died up until this point.
Mirror is a common team I see amongst the American crews, but this is horrible to see as the 1-4, 5 threes are coming in hard to getting things started. The comeback from the hard fences and coming back to get some shots, and this is huge. Dr. Ooh, hello, get things started, get things rocking. You're really coming back after losing 2. Wow, huge performance, and we're looking to possibly see the first team go out.
There we go. The Hard Phoenix already given off some work. While one player was downed, another to be taken out. In the meanwhile, they are putting in those bullets, and there it goes. The final one, the Panzerfaust, onto Wexner, and all of a sudden, 1453 have found themselves eliminated. Majority of this damage being dealt by a single player, that being Dr. Upax.
Yeah, Dr. Ooh getting it sorted. But again, you're fighting over a very competitive area of hill. You want to be somewhat so on this hill, and especially because now you're onto the other side of that building, which you could see on your minimap. You know, 9 times out of 10, no one's going to be occupying this hill, occupying that building. You want to be focusing more on being inside the zone, having that height control, and that's where that fight had to break out. And in doing so, we're just seeing Idiox. That's an upset from my side, because I said Iniox being a strong team quickly taken away.
Out of 0 from 100, all of a sudden, within a minute and 30 seconds, about 10 players have died, and many more are to follow as Full Rush Zech is not going to be stopping in his tracks. That's another one for the claim. AIM-W losing a Cupolypto, and all of a sudden, I mean, we're starting to lose some bodies here. A lot of teams are suffering. 2 of them already eliminated. Just like again, there's going to be more blood to be shed. Hala defending his teammate that's down. Another one about to bleed out at any moment. And it's starting to get a bit more stressful on this hillside too.
Yeah, they start to come out, and Hallow left alive. Can't keep it going, but Full Rush definitely rushed this squad, and the AMW taken away as well. And that's the second engagement we've had for positioning and being outside in the open. I was expecting maybe a little bit more of a building battle, but no, this is fighting for hills right now.
The high ground always tends to be quite nice to work with. But in the meanwhile, these risks Full Rush are putting in to keep it themselves and under contention are definitely going to be giving them a bit of a reward, but that's not the first one, nor the last one. We're going to have to see how in the end they're going to be able to contest it for much longer. Now, they are still inside the circle, but many more teams are going to be closing in, and we have 48 players still alive.
Yeah, you've got a lot of players still going. Of course, it's not usual to see teams go out onto Phase 2. 9 times out of 10, it's Phase 3, Phase 4. We start to lose a lot of teams, but with the last 20 seconds on Phase 2, there's a lot of numbers in what I'm saying. We're about to get to Zone/Phase 3. We were west. Are we going to move east? Sorry, we were east about are we going to move west? That is a question that we will ask as the final seconds start to click in. Well, for sure, half of this area, the lumberyard, taken away. I can't tell if we're close, but this is interesting as we already have a lot of information. And I know 2 have gone past, and the rest of his team could set an ambush here.
Huge from them. You can already hear some bullets going off. In the meanwhile, whizzing past their heads, coming in from the backside. They found 2 or 3 players completely cornered. Some damage to be delivered. Pulls out one. That's going to be some shots in the down first in the favor of War. Now, they might have gotten that upper one, but they've taken some damage in the meanwhile, finishing off Smiley, putting him into a frowny, and all of a sudden, still being contested from all sides, although I'm not too confident how we already are going to continue with the streak.
Yeah, they might get another team pushing up, and indeed they do. As very quickly a shot goes off, but Turkish isn't prepped, isn't ready. Is able to get a little bit of damage to go down, but he will get dropped. But thankfully, ALV ready from the outside, putting some tags, putting some damage in as Hisense are coming to occupy just a little porty. How much damage are you willing to risk? Because again, another third party's coming through.
It just never stops. It never really stops. 55E coming in for one of their own. Just like that, we are ready. Having casualties of their own. DHF here, the Hard Phoenix. Earlier, such a good, strong team that were really putting some teams, others to shame. And all of a sudden, Mira themselves going to be popping up for a couple extra. Now the zone bomb nicely placed down, going to force some out of their position. And Team Mira might be one of the more dominant teams we currently have on deck.
Fourth party coming through. Team Mira wanted to pick up the scraps, get a couple of extra points, but very quickly, I realized that that's already a bloodbath with 3 teams in the same area. Fourth is a little too much here. Hisense finally put his way as BN Lee pushed out the map. But leaves 2 teams on the edge of this circle, the Pharynx, and we are ready. But I'm no surprised, we are ready. They're going to start dipping out of here. They don't want to push anymore.
I wouldn't either if I were them. 2 players gone. Out from the heavens comes out a bit of a tent. Nicely reset yourself. Get some headspace going. And Hisoka right next to you, about a foot away, getting into that vehicle, trying to play that rat game. Alves nicely hiding down. But the process has been brutal for some of these teams, and you can imagine while though they tried exchanging their players for some kills, you have to consider teams like Dragon Kiss have all 4 players still alive.
So does Mira, and they have got eyes on Mira. Thankfully, Dragon Kiss got a few trees, a good hill, and of course, the shelter to play with, while Mira, they're walking into their sight lines, so very critically, they're going to have to move. But, oh, that zone just did not help them as shelter is now being removed off to the site. We start to go in line with the Eastern Bridge. Milta out of play. A lot of teams still located inside of this zone, so not a lot of rotations we'll see here.
Ooh. Have to see now. I mean, we are entering just about phase 4 in the next 30, meaning, like I said, the larger the phase is, the less space there's going to be, and more teams are going to feel the need to defend themselves, which always results in bloodbath chaining on from one team to another.
Well, talking of bloodbaths, not a lot happening right now. As you can see, Dragon had control, had shelter, they had great hills to play off, but now they're in this predicament, and this is why, personally, I try and avoid shelter at all. And it's just a field of open areas to play off. You will have to use your vehicle to get across. No surprise, I'm dipping and hiding in that bunker.
Absolutely not trying to get myself shot. And well, I mean, let's see some kills right now. While everything's still a bit more cooled off, we can go back and see the beautiful double drive-by that we saw earlier from the Heart Phoenix. And this is what really got them those kills that they currently still rock. A huge advantage, unexpected, and quick on it.
Yeah, brilliant work.
Trying to escape out of it. Meanwhile, Full Rush having a bit of actions brought down to them. Consequences to be catching up. 55. That's on the kill feed. One for them. It's not a fully finished job just yet, but we talk about it. And there's a down mid-driver. Quite unfortunate. Maestro's Mira 55. All are having a bit of a bout between each other as Dragons are having the worst part of it catching up on themselves. That's 2. That's 3 players. All facing very difficult times, but currently you have, what, 3-4 major teams going neck to neck?
All of them having to rotate in. 55 Esports saying thank you very much. Easy kills. Feed it to me. Dragon Kiss getting annihilated by Mira, and that was coming and that was expected. But it's Maestro's also stuck in a hard predicament as they're sitting on the bittersweet edge of this building as Hazard is missing all the shots, and the opportunities to keep his team alive are slipping away. And Hazira, well, it's a clutch dream for your squad. If you can make it 2 more teams, then hey, at least there's 1 point for you.
Drinking himself back up. Azari, bit of a reset ongoing. You know, the teammates already lost. You might as well go for the position. Maestros have not been able to acquire a single kill, so might as well get those pity points from positions alone. While in the meanwhile, there's going to be an 8 kill from 31 and trying to escape the situation. I don't think you're going to be leaving as unscathed as you would have wanted to. 7 HP, a single bullet there to deliver the job. And although Korbosh is the final one to leave you from Maestros, they still have that one to rely on.
Yeah, going straight into Mira, and no surprise, Mira will be taking him out. He's gone in the feed. But we look over to the farm, well, full of maggots, and 31, and I believe that's Free Fire, is right ready to have a little crack at them. As the stalemate, this is the beauty of the farm, is it's open, it's sightlines, and players like to hop on these roofs.
That they do. You get yourself beautiful cover from your front-siding side, and in the meanwhile, we speak of the devil. We are ready. I don't think they were ready for Mira as they came along, got them in the bag, and that's going to be another one for the point count. Now, for the Mangoes, we've seen them in the very beginning. They were the first ones to be showing off, and this might be one of their final moments around, as now they're going to be facing 31G, who have been quite present on the kill feed currently in the more recent times, and trying to fight back against them. We have about three teams cluttered in around, I would say, a 20 meter radius.
Maybe 50.
Yeah.
Meters in this game is a little perspective, but nonetheless, it's definitely down to the nitty-gritty as still more teams having to push into those gun lines. Mira's been farming, 31 Gamer get a little caught up, but here is Balkan Eagles as they start to push forward. This, I believe, from their logo, an Algerian squad pushing up with a 10 killing spree in the feed. Who was that? God, that was from Mira. No surprise. But Balkan gets stuck on the edge. They just need a little more push in, and then they can have some security.
Ooh, Balkan Eagles racked up quite a decent amount of kills here. Enough for half of winner with their chicken dinner. They're looking to rack up an extra bunch. Delulu are going to be their prime victim. Let's see how well that's going to be sticking as Full Rush, even from the outskirts, looking to snipe them out in the process and just sticking building side to get themselves as much cover and safety as possible.
Yeah, but Full Rush, they've got to be wary because they still have 31 on the north side of that farm. That is a problem. Yes, they're trying to get these knocks onto Balkan, but can you confirm that you could get the flush off this? So that is probably the most important section of it all, but Ewu, and finally getting rid of the vehicle, the nade from his teammate, landing perfectly. We're down to 7, and it's so open, and still anyone's game.
Smokes here being utilized to their finest. I guess it's going to be a fantastic way of covering, but only a matter of time of how long will they last to. Some shots there from 55, finding one from Mira, delivering the blow, fakes, and also being down to the process. And that's where Mira might just fall to the thanks of 55, who are currently majorly team-wiped them. But the final one to fight back against them is going to be removing one of these players. A down onto one, but not able to finish the job as quantity over quality. And Team Mira has been eliminated.
Mira, the strongest team of this entire lobby. They go out after their rotation, a medicine that they dealt, they finally taste it themselves. And 55 Esports, so go, well, you did it to everyone else. We might as well show you how it's done. And, well, having one of the buildings in their control, that's going to help out a lot as one of the only, well, I think there's only 2 compounds left. The northern compound and the farm compound, which is down south.
Oh, look at this zone. How small it gets at 6. Whew. That's going to be certainly a lot more interesting. But look, a couple of minutes have passed us, and all of a sudden we have 15 players alive. About an average of 2.5 per team. Really not showing a lot of teams, if any at all, have a full roster. In the meanwhile, 31 stuck up in one little hut. And the Hard Phoenix eliminated to the thanks of Mangoes.
One good nade. Let's get yourself a little bit closer, but 31 can easily be eliminated, but that's the problem. Trying to get close enough. There's too much open space. I'm looking at this map, and the push-up would utilize a lot of your utility, a lot of smokes. Yeah, the lack of trees as well, not going to help you. And even if you have a tree, it's pretty useless to have a tree in place. Oh, that angle! Holy mackerel, that's impressive.
That it is, and Mangoes, they're not going to be stopping. They're looking to put up a performance worthy of being a rival to 55, who are right now definitely the reigning champions, but have not only taken the previous leader, I would say, that being Mira, but now also stacking with those 3 players, which is the largest count of players that a team certainly has in this situation, and also having a lot of kills under their belt.
Zone, last 7 seconds. If this goes north, 55 are happy, but this looks to go central. Oh, nobody's good. Everyone's having to rotate into the open field that this is. The track road that it is on that south side will help. There's a little compound next to 31 as well, so 31, if they wanted to, could bunny hop over, but realistically, we're just gonna start seeing more kills, and this top 5 will quickly drop down to a top 3.
Oh, look at Full Rush. They're really panicking. It seems like they're very disturbed, caught off guard, and right now on the outside, very close to Mangoes as well. They're about to be in close confrontation. Not only have they tried taking their shots towards the side of 55, but 31 to the right, they are completely surrounded. Now, either they can bunker up and wait for the storm to come right around behind them, or they can try catching a couple of players off guard.
The Algerian team just on that northeastern side is going to be a big fatal point as we get a quick reminder of 55 Esports' annihilation that came forward. There was hope, there was a prey from Kazun, but it just could not overthrow us. Finally, we're seeing the push that comes through, down to that final 4, as FTM down to 1 with a critical moment, but I told you, 1 nade could make the difference. It lands as Campbell gets 1. Can he find the second? No, it's not going to land in the correct way, but it's still just on the outside. Has to play his life as the counter nade starts pushing through. The steal won't happen. Full Rush taking both of them.
Oh, it's not looking good for Rush. You've exchanged that greed to try and get 31 for those extra 2 kills. For 55 getting a move onto you. Now needing to push back, get yourself that revive. And then the meanwhile, look at 55. They're taking it a long range. While other teams are battling in between each other, 55 are just sitting back, relaxing, enjoying a hot cup of coffee. And right now, the final 3 all have 3 players between the 3. A lot of 3s.
This is such a horrible zone to play off. I told you, it's a matter of having smokes. You're gonna be having to use all your utility. We're seeing Daddy 3K with absolutely nothing of utility to play against. He's only got his vehicle to stay alive, but 33, because they have the hill, because they have that height, they're able to start the onslaught that it is coming forward. And the Mango, nothing left to cover, nothing left to keep them alive, and even with the zone, it doesn't matter. 55 feeling so comfortable here.
The last attempt to take him out is if FTM and Full Rush go together hand in hand to take them out. But look at the kills. They've hit double digits. 10 kills for the side of 55, and they're just not going to stop. That's the 12 for the count, and the final one for Full Rush. Unless this is going to be a magical 1v3 situation, which I very heavily doubted due to the position given to the final one. Can't believe you can believe as much as you want, but these bullets are going to humble you down to the very core. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And that's going to be 55 Esports taking map number 1.
Brilliant start for 55 Esports. They took a little mirage or